It's been a debate for decades. Are aliens out there, and have they ever made contact with us?
Aliens for decades have been living on the planet long enough, so much so that their remains are being discovered from unexpected places.
It was missing a limb. It had a sort of a dark grayish skin color.
Here are interesting cases of some of the most perfectly preserved carcasses of aliens ever to be found. Okay, get this. Recently, some jaw-dropping footage from Area 51 hit the internet, and it's got everyone buzzing. An insider allegedly recorded the clip, showed this strange, almost otherworldly creature lying on what looked like an examination table. The story goes that this being was connected to the infamous Roswell incident, and scientists at a top-secret lab ran all kinds of tests on it. Naturally, people went nuts over this. Some were convinced it was legit, while others cried a hoax. Honestly though, it's hard not to believe when you see how detailed and eerie this footage was. Whatever's in that lab, it's not your run-of-the-mill earthling. What are your thoughts? Hallway horror. It was the middle of the night in a quiet hospital, and a janitor heard a loud bang echoing through the hallways. Armed with only his camera and a dose of courage, he followed the noise, and found something that would make anyone's blood run cold. There, on what looked like a stretcher, lay a body, but not just anybody. This thing had bulging eyes and was clearly missing parts, like someone or something left in a hurry. The janitor reported it to the authorities, only to be silenced. But here's the kicker, he managed to upload the footage before they could stop him. And just like that, the mystery exploded online. What are your thoughts on this? Forest encounter. A hunter and his son were out in the woods, just doing their thing, tracking animals, dad teaching the boy the ropes, just like the usual stuff. But what they find there is not a deer, not a bear, but an alien pinned under a fallen tree. I know, it's crazy. Oh, the poor thing was lying there, injured, looking like it was having the worst day of its life. It tried to push the tree off, but it was just too much. Then, with one last attempt to get away, it rolled back down, succumbing to its injuries. Now, here's the kicker. How did an alien end up this far from home, struggling like this? There's more to this story than meets the eye. Lizard mystery. Back in 2022, a tourist in Brazil stumbled upon something seriously bizarre in a museum. Tucked away in a shadowy corner was a glass case holding what looked like the skeleton of a humanoid, but not quite. Its head resembled a massive lizard, complete with gills and clawed hands. Once the photos hit the internet, chaos broke out. Some folks swore it was proof of lizard people, while others leaned toward alien origins. And the museum? Silent. No explanations, no answers. Just more questions. Honestly, the whole thing felt like a riddle we were not meant to solve. What do you think? Alien or something scarier? Alien remains. In October 2023, a camper walking through the forest came across a disturbing sight, a decomposing body on the ground. At first, it seemed like animals had been at it, but its unsettling human-like shape raised alarms. Thinking it might be human, the camper called in forensic experts. What they discovered flipped the script. It wasn't human at all. It was alien. Yep, extraterrestrial remains right there in the forest. They couldn't pinpoint when it lost its life, but the body had been there for days. Creepy, huh? It's one of those mysteries that leaves you disturbed and with way more questions than answers. Alien interview.
Okay, so if other planets don't have life, why, miraculously, does ours?
So there's this video floating around, and it's beyond creepy. An alien was being interviewed. The team asked about its species, and the alien straight up said, "We are trillions in count." Mind-blowing, right? But then things got even weirder. When asked about how life works on other planets, the alien talked about molecular combinations from millions of years ago, basically saying life wasn't some miracle but just a statistical chance.
Other planets don't have life. Why, miraculously, does ours?
It even dropped this heavy line: "You are a descendant of that chance." Makes you rethink everything, doesn't it? Like, what if we're just one big cosmic accident, evolving by pure luck? What are your thoughts on this? A Russian explorer in Antarctica stumbled upon something wild under the ice. At first, he was digging cautiously, but as he went deeper, he realized he was onto something big. And what did he unearth? Well, have a look at it. A frozen body with a massive pale head that looked, well, alien. He shared the footage and it went viral in no time. Naturally, the internet went crazy. Some folks claimed it was all staged for attention, while others swore it was the real deal, lead our proof of extraterrestrial life frozen in the ice. What's your take? Was this a legit discovery or just another viral hoax to keep us guessing? Frozen visitors. Imagine walking into an exhibit where aliens aren't just in movies, they're right in front of you. That's exactly what this wild exhibition claimed to showcase. The humanoids supposedly discovered on Earth were kept in cryogenic sleep. One wore a spacesuit because its skin secretes poison. Oh, and it had 2 hearts. Both beating. The second was found in the ocean, resembling an octopus but with a freaky mammalian twist. And then there were the space hermits, beings without a home planet, living on meteorites. After seeing all this, people went nuts. Some said it was all staged, but others believed it could be Russian experiments going on. Alien mummies.
For centuries, humans have gazed at the stars wondering if we are alone in the universe. From ancient cave paintings to modern sci-fi blockbusters, the idea of extraterrestrial life has captivated our collective imagination.
For ages, people have looked up at the stars and wondered, are we alone? But this discovery in Peru might be the answer to this question, and it's next level bizarre. Back in 2017, the so-called Nazca mummies were discovered. These tiny 4-foot-tall humanoid figures looked like they jumped out of a sci-fi movie, with elongated heads, only 3 fingers, and skin that didn't quite sit right. Here's the kicker: their fingerprints were unlike the swirly loops we humans have. These prints were straight line, like they were drawn with a ruler. Scientists are scratching their heads. Alien? Hoax? Some lost branch of humanity? Either way, it's a mystery we can't ignore. Roswell revelation. Alright, let's talk about this photo that has everyone buzzing. It's supposedly from 1947, tied to the infamous Roswell UFO incident, and showed what looked like an alien creature, found in an attic in Sedona, Arizona, alongside pictures of Clark Gable and Dwight Eisenhower, of all people. The photo sparked tons of debates. Even Kodak confirmed the image wasn't doctored, which only added fuel to the mystery. The UFO Museum in Roswell was at the heart of this whirlwind. Visitors were split. Some were hardcore believers, while others enjoyed the intrigue without fully buying in. Whether hoax or historical proof, this photo reignited the Roswell legend like never before. Hidden experiment. Okay, this video that came out is straight up disturbing. It was filmed in what looked like a secret lab, and it showed a creature with some seriously alien-like features. The poor thing was struggling to breathe, almost like it was pleading for help. And then, get this, a man in the video held its hand like he was trying to comfort it. But why? Was this some kind of medical experiment gone wrong? Or was there something way darker at play here? We don't know what this was all about, and honestly, it's driving netizens nuts. What were they trying to do to this creature? This whole thing just raised more questions than answers. Hybrid mystery. Alright, this one's straight out of a sci-fi movie. About a year ago, a scientist claimed to find a 6-inch creature with a humanoid body and fairy-like wings. Crazy, right? Even wilder, genetic tests allegedly showed it was 98.5% similar to humans. That led to whispers of a possible human-alien hybrid. When the footage went public, it spread like wildfire. People were losing their minds, calling it proof of extraterrestrial life. But here's where it got sketchy. Shortly after, authorities erased most of the footage, and the scientist, gone, vanished. The only thing left was this grainy secret recording. It makes you wonder, what else are they hiding? Alien carcass. A team of explorers trekked through the Peruvian mountains. This wasn't just any expedition though. Word had spread about a UFO sighting in the area, but for years, militants controlled the land, keeping everyone out. When they finally moved on, the group of curious researchers ventured in. What they found was beyond wild. Inside an abandoned structure, dusty and silent, they unearthed a wooden box hidden in one of the rooms. Deep within was something that defied belief, a pale-skinned, bulging-eyed carcass. Not human, not animal. People online freaked out when the footage surfaced. Some thought it was a hoax, and others swore it was an alien, and those militant groups were fighting over this as their lives depended on it. Unreal discovery. Nazca, Peru, is a land already steeped in mystery with its mind-boggling geoglyphs. But now, it's what's beneath the surface stealing the show. In 2017, when a group of researchers pulled a mummy out of a box and the jaws hit the floor, this wasn't just any mummy. Its elongated skull, slate gray skin, and 3 freakishly long fingers screamed, "Not human." And here's an even more interesting part, the body's organs were still intact. Scientists ran tests, and carbon-14 dating pegged it at nearly 1800 years old, after which wild theories erupted of alien existence back then. Even the petroglyphs nearby had drawings of 3-fingered beings. Coincidence? Maybe. Or maybe we've stumbled upon the most convincing proof of aliens. Dwarf mystery. Alright, hear this out on this, because it's the kind of thing that makes you do a double take. A guy in Florida woke up to some weird banging in the middle of the night. Now, if it were me, I'd probably just pull the covers over my head. But no, this guy grabbed his camera and started the investigation. What did he find? There was a tiny mummified creature lying on the floor, barely 6 inches tall. People went nuts over his footage. Some said it could be a dwarf alien. Others insisted on an alien juvenile. I mean, could it be real? Did the aliens drop one of their own? It was bizarre, but oddly chilling. Mystery mummy. So, in the heart of the old Inca Empire, the Cuzco region, researchers found something wild. A tiny mummy just 20 inches tall. Not your average discovery, right? Its head was shaped like a triangle, and those massive eye sockets? Totally out of proportion. Anthropologists were stumped. The teeth didn't add up either. The molars that shouldn't be there were just chilling in its jaw. One theory, this could have been deformed human remains, used in a religious ceremony, a practice the Incas used, while the other theory suggested it could be an alien or extraterrestrial. While the experts keep piecing this puzzle together, one thing's clear, this little guy's story is far from ordinary. Mexico enigma. Alright, this one's straight out of a sci-fi flick. About a decade ago in New Mexico, a local stumbled upon something that still had people scratching their heads. It was this tiny creature, about squirrel-sized, with a humanoid skull, bulging eyes, and a weird monkey-like vibe. Can you even imagine finding something like that? Scientists were completely stumped. They couldn't pin it down to any known species, which only fueled wild theories. Some claimed it was extraterrestrial, others thought it could be tied to ancient myths. To this day, no one has figured out what it was. A hoax? A cryptid? Or maybe something out of this world? Yard mystery. It all started with a dog barking non-stop. Back in 2011, a quiet Brazilian village woke to chaos when locals went to investigate what had spoke. Their loyal dog so riled up. In the yard, they found something bizarre. Some kind of creature just lying there. At first, it didn't smell bad or seem like much, but within days, it began to decompose rapidly, and the stench became unbearable. What was it? No one knew for sure. Some called it a strange animal. Others whispered about extraterrestrial origins. Whatever it was, it left the community scratching their heads and feeling just a bit uneasy. What do you think about this? Share your thoughts down below. Eiger mystery. Imagine stumbling across a video on an old server. No context, no details, just a cryptic anonymous video. That's what happened here. And what it showed was straight out of a sci-fi thriller. The grainy footage reportedly shot near the Eiger mountain in Switzerland revealed a snowy landscape and bizarrely what looked like an alien in terrible shape. The video appeared authentic, likely recorded with a VHS camera, and people couldn't decide if it was a secret government operation or a lucky or unlucky accident by some locals. Either way, the snowy Alps have never seemed so eerie. What went down that day? The truth might still be buried in the ice. Frozen encounter. Two guys heard some freaky banging sounds one night like something crashed from the sky. Naturally, they grabbed a camera and headed out. What they found was chilling. Lying there in the snow was this pale, alien-looking figure with huge bulging eyes. And get this, it had missing body parts. The footage? It blew up online. Some folks were all in, convinced it was legit proof of alien life. Others, of course, called it a hoax, saying it was way too convenient. Real or staged though, it left everyone talking. Makes you wonder, right? If you ever hear something strange in the night, maybe you'll think twice before investigating. Or will you? Fetal mystery. Alright, this one's a real head scratcher, literally. In a Bolivian museum, there was a tiny 7 to 9 month old skeleton with an elongated head that had been stirring up theories left and right. It was mostly human looking, but that skull, it was wild. Dr. Ken, a radiologist, weighed in and said it might not be just a medical condition like hydrocephalus. Instead, he was floating the idea that this could be a hybrid, something from a time when Homo sapiens might have had other ancient neighbors. It's a bold theory that messes with everything we think we know about evolution. If true, it could rewrite history, or at the very least, add a wild new chapter. Burning mystery. This one's as chilling as it gets. A decade ago in Lahore, Pakistan, a strange creature, something the locals called Bona, caused absolute chaos. It wasn't just odd looking, it was otherworldly. No one could figure out what it was, but fear took over fast. People gathered, panicked, and in their confusion they lashed out. The creature was stoned and neutralized by street kids until nothing but ashes remained. Now, the wild theories were everywhere. Some said it was alien. Others thought it might have been a bizarre animal or even something supernatural. But the truth, it was gone with the smoke, leaving nothing but questions and a story that'll haunt Lahore forever. Skull secrets. So back in 1907 in Malta, archaeologists unearthed something straight out of a sci-fi plot. Around 7,000 skeletons, many with skulls elongated most bizarrely. Now, the usual theory was the head-binding Sen ancient practice where infant skulls were wrapped to mimic the gods they worshipped. But here's the kicker. Some of these skulls were missing a key feature, something called the sagittal suture, which humans are supposed to have. This revelation sparked the wild theories. Could these skulls belong to extraterrestrials? Maybe even giants who lived among human us? It's freaky, right? Scientists are still debating, but one thing's for sure. These skulls are keeping Malta's ancient mysteries alive and kicking. Alien revelation. Alright, buckle up. No, in 2023, NASA dropped some serious intel on UAPs, those unidentified aerial phenomena we all casually call UFOs. This report, it was supposed to dig into what these things were and how we can gather better data in the future. But the question is how they were claiming all this. Well, here's where it gets wild. Over in Mexico, they recently showcased what they claim were non-human mummies. Yep, actual remains that a researcher insisted weren't human. DNA tests reportedly backed that up, and these things were said to be over 1,000 years old. If true, Mexico might just become the first country to officially recognize aliens. Whether it was fact or fiction, this is shaping up to be a mind-bending chapter in space mysteries. Antarctic mysteries. A guy from Latvia headed to Antarctica with a metal detector, chasing UFO clues. Brave or a little crazy? Maybe both, but after some digging, he uncovered what looked like an alien skull buried deep in the ice. If that wasn't wild enough, next came a mysterious metal sphere, not your average snowball. And that's not it. He even found this, what looked like the frozen alien body. When he posted his findings, the internet exploded. Some were all in, claiming this was the proof we've been waiting for. Others? Total skeptics, brushing it off as a staged stunt. Either way, it's got people talking. Makes you wonder what else could be hiding under all that Antarctic ice, doesn't it? Icy intrigue. Imagine strolling through Minneapolis and spotting a giant ice block with a mysterious, shaggy-haired figure trapped inside. Creepy, right? And that's exactly what happened in January 2021. For a moment, it felt like a real-life sci-fi movie. Everyone was buzzing. Some thought it was a tragic accident. Others whispered about aliens or cavemen. Wild theories flew around faster than you could say frozen mystery. But then, the truth thawed out. Turned out it wasn't anything supernatural, it was an art piece by Zach Schumacher. Disappointing, maybe, but man, did it get people talking. Proof that sometimes a bit of mystery is all we need to fire up our imaginations and bring us together. Siberian mystery. A lone Russian explorer was trekking through the icy depths of Siberia when he stumbled upon something straight out of a sci-fi flick. A pale, lifeless figure with a massive, bulging head. Humanoid, but not quite human. Naturally, he poked it with a stick. No movement. No nothing. When the footage hit the internet, it spread faster than wildfire in a dry forest. Everyone had theories. Alien? Government experiment? Even skeptics couldn't quite debunk it, which only fueled the frenzy. It's one of those discoveries that leaves you with more questions than answers. Whatever it was, it sure had us all looking over our shoulders. What do you think it was? Share your thoughts down below. Leaked files. Recently, top secret files were leaked, and man, they were wild. We're talking footage from the 70s or 80s that showed something, well, let's say not human. One video showed a skinny, goblin-like creature lying on a slab. Another clip shows scientists poking and prodding what looked like an extraterrestrial being. Of course, the powers that be tried to bury this footage, but the internet is always a few steps ahead. Once these clips hit, theories exploded. Could it be a post-Roswell alien? What else are they hiding? The truth may be out there, but who knows what's real anymore with all the wild theories swirling around. Mysterious disappearance. So get this. A group of locals in Vietnam was hiking through the mountains when they stumbled upon the body of a decaying alien. The poor thing was missing a leg, and based on the bite marks, it looked like a massive carnivore had taken him. As they were recording this bizarre scene, they heard the sound of something flying overhead. An invisible craft, probably from the alien's ship, heading straight toward them. Naturally, they freaked out and bolted. But when they returned the next day, the carcass was gone, like vanished, gone without a trace. Now tell me, what are the chances of that? Was someone or something is keeping tabs on us? Unanswered origins. Okay, so get this. A baby's elongated skull was discovered in Peru, tied to the Paracas culture, but it was not just any skull, Al. This one was huge for an infant, with reddish hair and a shape that didn't quite scream human. Sure, cranial deformation was a thing back then, but this skull's fast growth. Weird. Here's the frustrating part. The owner wasn't allowing DNA tests. Like, what were they hiding? It's not even uncommon for locals to have artifacts like this, though technically exporting them is a big no-no. Still, without more testing, we're stuck with more questions than answers, and an eerie reminder of how much we still don't know. Mysterious mummy. Have you seen that creepy photo making waves on social media? It was of this bizarre mummy found in the forests of Chichibu City, Saitama Prefecture. The thing had no chin, a long neck, stretched out arms, and skin that looked like it was barely holding on. Honestly, it was nightmare fuel. Naturally, people online went wild. Some swore it was proof of aliens, while skeptics argued it was a hoax or some strange artifact. Over 15,000 retweets later, and no one was closer to figuring it out. But I mean, how do you even stage something that weird? It's like the kind of thing that leaves you staring at the photo, wondering what's out there. Nazca mystery. So there's this wild video from the Nazca catalog making the rounds. It showed a skeleton folded up like it was in a deep huddle, legs to its chest, arms tucked close. But here's the kicker. It didn't look human, not even close. People were already whispering alien, and honestly, could you blame them? What's even crazier was the skeleton's journey. It supposedly went from Peru to Brazil and ended up in Russia. Like, who was even keeping track of these things? Private collectors? Secret agents? Either way, it's enough to make you wonder how many of these remains are out there. The mystery is real, and the questions just keep piling up. Human yet extraordinary. A bizarre humanoid creature was discovered, known as the Atacama humanoid, tiny with an elongated skull and just 10 ribs. Naturally, people thought alien. But hold on, science swooped in with a reality check. Researchers at Stanford University sequenced its genome and confirmed it was human. Yep, human. And here is the real kicker. This little skeleton had 64 never-before-seen genetic mutations. These mutations tied to bone density, rib number, and skeletal growth are what made it so bizarrely unique. Even though they're rare, although the facts were clear, still the believers insisted it could be an alien-human hybrid. What you think it might be, share your thoughts below. Trapped and hidden. In 1996, a chilling video from Brazil hit the internet showing what appeared to be a creature trapped in a net inside a wooden box. The source, remaining anonymous, claimed this was an extraterrestrial being captured by Brazilian authorities and whisked away to a secret location. The video, allegedly filmed by a witness, showed soldiers transferring the being to another facility under tight security. Naturally, the footage caused an uproar. People demanded to know the truth. What happened to the creature? Why the secrecy? Critics slammed the agencies for their hush-hush handling, fueling speculation and distrust. Whatever the reality, this eerie incident left questions that linger to this day. Alien understudy. A year ago, a jaw-dropping video surfaced, exposing the eerie world of alien research. Recorded by a member of an experimental team, it revealed a living alien being examined in a clinical setting. One individual was shown holding the alien's tongue for internal inspection, while others carefully studied its body. The alien was alive and appeared to be aware of what was happening, which sparked a heated debate about the ethics of such procedures. Were they trying to decode its biology, or was this something more sinister? The footage raised more questions than it answered, leaving people unsettled about how extraterrestrial life is treated under humanity's watchful eye. Alien autopsy. Okay, now this was wild. Some anonymous source leaked footage of a surgeon working on a juvenile alien carcass. From what I gathered, the poor thing lost its life after a crash, losing most of its body, and the doc was just going to town, trying to figure out how this alien's insides worked. It was all so eerie, especially when you see the alien's body open up. Kind of like a human autopsy, but not, well, human. Some people think it was a hoax, or even some sort of transplant, but without any official word, the mystery just deepened. Makes you wonder what else is out there. Tridactyl creature. This footage came out in December 2023, and man, it was chilling. An anonymous source leaked a video showing the last moments of a tridactyl. Yeah, a creature with 3 fingers. Was fighting for its life. It was struggling to breathe, and its body was all messed up, and you could see it trying to touch it with one of its injured hands. You could feel its distress. Rumors have it that someone tipped off state officers about a creature hidden somewhere. When they investigated, they found this poor thing in that state. And get this, the whole thing was being kept under covers. We're left with more questions than answers. What happened to it? What else was being hidden from us? Open discussion. Now it's time for today's open discussion. This one was straight out of a sci-fi movie, and I can't stop thinking about it. Leaked footage showed these creatures in some kind of tank. Not your everyday animals either. These things looked human-ish, but with these twisted alien vibes, like the skull. All weird angles and shapes, not remotely normal. Now, people were already going wild with theories, like aliens, hybrid experiments, you name it. And get it, it was super creepy and mysterious. Could Area 51 be a hub for alien preservation? Or maybe even Frankenstein-level science experiments? I mean, what's your take? Hit me with your theories. Thank you very much for watching the video. Do like it and share it with your friends. Subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon to not miss any of the upcoming amazing videos. Thank you once again,